Hi everybody, welcome to another video, and today I'm going to be talking about the things that you can do to offer support to a bereaved parent. I'm sure that some of the things I'm going to talk about are very applicable to other people going through bereavements and who are grieving, but this video in particular is to do with grieving parents. It was suggested by a viewer. It was an excellent suggestion. What support can you offer somebody who is going through a bereavement of this kind? Because it's a particularly cruel kind of bereavement, I think. I thought about this a lot, and I thought about it from my own experience, and really, people are like, I don't know what to say in these situations, and I totally agree. But this is where I think that owning up to that really, really helps. So if you say, I'm sorry, I don't know what to say, or I'm sorry that happened to you and I wish I knew what to say, that goes a long way. Because if you try and just offer people platitudes and these kind of blanket phrases, or try and get them to focus on something else, like some of the most unhelpful comments can be things like, well, at least you have two already, you could always try for another one, maybe it's for the best, things like that, they really don't help. I had a lot of respect for the people who came up and they were honest and they said, hands up, I don't know what to say, and I'm so sorry that this happened to you. So that just went so much towards the kind of acknowledgement of my grief and my bereavement. This is one of these situations where I feel actions speak a lot louder than words. One thing you can really do is ask about the baby. So often, because the baby is not physically here and is not present, people forget that that little baby was a person and that that person was hugely important to the bereaved. So I noticed that people wouldn't ask about, what was his name? How much did he weigh? What kind of service did you have? Anything. The kind of questions that people usually ask about live babies are not asked about the babies that died. Treat the baby as a real person, somebody who was actually here, because they were. Now I'm going to get into the things that you can do that are more action orientated, and really these kinds of actions are applicable to not just death, but also things like birth and other huge life events like getting married or moving house. So the first thing I would suggest is food. One of the last things I wanted to think about was what I was going to cook for dinner when I was right in the middle of my grief, and having that responsibility lifted would have been hugely helpful. It didn't actually happen, but we were offered some help when Fox was born, and we were given care packages by friends and family, and having those meals in the freezer really made a huge difference. So just having something that takes the responsibility away is so helpful. And in general, taking a responsibility for other things like cleaning and household chores and looking after perhaps the children who are already here, just taking some of the load off of the grieving person so that they actually have time and space to grieve. Initially, I really just did not want to think about everything that I had to keep on top of, just because life was going to go on regardless. Every time you come around, maybe offer to do some washing, or put a load of laundry on, or clean the bathroom, or run the vacuum over, or offer to take the older kids, if they have any, out for a day so they can just have some breathing room. Grief is a huge thing to process, and in our busy lives we really don't have enough community anymore to shoulder the burden of processing grief. So by all means, if you know someone who's going through a huge life event like birth, death, marriage, moving, whatever, divorce, offer your services, because that is really what's valuable here. Another thing that you can really offer is offer to talk. And if the person doesn't want to talk, and when I say talk, what I really mean is offer to listen. If the bereaved person doesn't really want to talk, then just offer to be there. Say, hey, I'm here if you want me to be here. If you don't, I'll go. But if they want you to stay, then just sit with them, watch TV, offer them tissues if they need them. Gosh, even thinking about some of this is making me tear up a little bit. You know, put the kettle on, make some tea. Just be there, recognize them, validate them and their huge emotions that they are dealing with right now. It won't make them go away, but it at least makes them feel like they're not alone. And last of all, respect their wishes. Whatever they tell you, whatever they say that they want, respect that. If they don't want anyone around, then be there on the end of the phone, but don't make a nuisance of yourself. So I hope this video was useful, and if you are one of those people who knows someone who's going through a really hard time right now, I hope that you can apply some of these things that I've talked about in this video, and if you found it useful, do let me know in the comments, and any other topics that you'd like me to cover, I'd be happy to. And I'll be back with another video really soon. Bye guys!